Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the new GFL. You know me, I'm Stephen B. We've got another good game, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Denver Broncos. Which team will step up in a big way tonight? Kickoff is next. Before the game, let's take a look at our current standings. We have 7 teams from the AFC, 7 teams from the NFC. A 13-game regular season where every team plays each team once. Then, when the playoffs come around, the top 5 teams from each conference makes the postseason, with the last 2 teams from each conference saying, bye-bye, see you later. Here's a look at the upcoming schedule. Now, let's go down to the field for kickoff.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Baltimore Ravens and the Denver Broncos. And it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 24.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today we've got a fun little clash in the AFC as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Denver Broncos. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
And off we go from Denver. And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that will be a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Bringing them out is the 12th-year pro seeking a return to Pro Bowl form, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's Wilson. Oh, his first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Brandon, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, He's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
Now a 2nd and 10. First carry now for Gus Edwards. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They go play action now. Jackson escapes the defender, and down inside the 15 he goes. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get to first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Edwards now on 1st and 10, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. First carry now for Justice Hill. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Ravens take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result was the touchdown run by Justice Hill. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. There's Wilson to throw. It's Williams on the count. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
I know you've had some fun. Let's get some noise.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Pulled in at the 24. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore's set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They'll run with Edwards here to begin drive. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Now a 2nd and 6. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Here's Edwards again on 2nd down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
That is caught. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. And they run with Edwards off the option. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Justin Tucker onto the field goal. A 44-yard attempt.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first-half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And coming out now, the Broncos. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, there's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And the running lane non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack. It looked like they were trying to get him outside there, but this defense had different plans.
Yeah, they really had an outside-in kind of a pass rush. It's almost like when you're covering a punt. You can't let him get to the outside and get to the sideline. You force him to stay in the middle of the field, and they did exactly that and made the play.
Everybody stay composed.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 10. Jackson leaves it with Edwards on the draw. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what it did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On third down, Jackson. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Down the left sideline. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, 85 yards. And the Ravens are able to extend their lead. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0.
Broncos, nothing.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. A give to Williams, running right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
That's an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed them. So now it brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
On first down, Wilson. And that caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. They'll come up now 3rd and 9. They go play action with Wilson. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Jackson on 1st down. His throw incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Jackson. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing is Jackson. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it.
They shook the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
At the 43-yard line.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Jackson will throw again. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Now they'll try and set up the quarterback draw here.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Facing 4th down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there.
And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory.
The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this 1st half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
35 seconds, all that remains in the 1st half as they come up on 1st down. Throwing is Wilson. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's out right at the 5. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this.
Now Wilson on second down. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. This time they stay on the ground. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. On second down, it's Edwards. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, back to you two in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
Welcome, everyone. I'm your host, Jay. This is the GFL Halftime Show. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to the live GFL Halftime Show. Thanks for joining us for another halftime show and another great game. And what a game it's been. All the players and coaches are in the locker room now, going over their game plans and adjustments. What players are going to step up in a big way? It's now or never tonight. And with a whole second half of football left to be played, anything could still happen. Thanks for joining us for the GFL Halftime Show. The second half kickoff is next. I'll see you next time.
significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half, 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards, and he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Again, it's Edwards. Able to push his way through. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He finds Aguilar over the middle. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
From the gun, Jackson. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Play action. It's Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 20-yard line. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. That's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler, 1st-round pick back in 2012.
Still 1st down.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now it's Jackson. Pass out left, finds Kohler. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still 40 yards between the two.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
And Jackson throwing once more. He'll go underneath, dropping it off to Edwards. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
I got you, baby. Let's go. Let's go right now. Let's pray. Let's pray now, baby. Let's pray.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Hill is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
3rd and goal, Jackson. Touchdown. Rashad Bateman on the touchdown throw from Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. A 10-play drive that time. And it's Rashad Bateman who finished it all off with a touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They run it again with Williams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Holding, offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
They go play action now. Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Throwing on second and long. Wilson, and he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and give him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit, because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The former Minnesota Gopher Rashad Bateman leading this offense back onto the field. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that, because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Jackson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action in Denver. Coming left is Hill. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
3rd down and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's going deep for Bateman. And that's caught into the 35. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 59 yards.
A gain of 59 yards. 1st down, Ravens.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now a 1st down carry. It's Hill. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will have a Ravens 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert him on 3rd and 3.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a 1st down with some nice running.
They'll go with Hill here on 1st down. Alex Singleton, a former Canadian League star, in on the stop.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. 2nd down and 8. Here's Hill one more time. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Here's Jackson to throw. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
On 2nd down, Hill. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justice Hill, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Well, obviously, Charles, no more points were needed, but some teams just can't resist the urge to keep adding on, and they did just that here in the 4th quarter.
And we've certainly been on the call to see many teams do exactly that over the years, Brandon. Some to even more impressive degrees. In the end, it always comes back to there's still a defense out there, and it's still a game of NFL football. So if you don't like what's happening, it's up to you to get them stopped.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result. That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Wilson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there, because to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Bind, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. That is caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, give them credit. They're going to stay and fight this out to the 4th down. You've got to go for it. And they not only convert, but pick up some good yardage as well.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Screen play set up for Williams. And he'll go down at the 28.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
At the 28-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now Wilson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Again, Wilson. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Wilson. Same connection. Dulcich once again. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
To throw again is Wilson. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Patrick Queen picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick here moving forward.
Now Wilson. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. This one winding toward a conclusion. And how would you assess how the secondary is played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. But at this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Wilson. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.